Attention. And I know that that was one of the things that many people had a question about. So we're going to talk about that today, and I'm very excited. So are you girls ready? We are ready. Okay, so are y'all ready? Ready. Did everybody enjoy the food? Okay, all right, here we go. Take it away, Starlet. I gave her 2, y'all better be ready.
I like this one because it's number 1. It says number 1. Okay, y'all tell me if I'm too loud or not loud enough. Okay, so I'm starting three-way calls. All right. You guys, if you have heard me speak before or been around for very long, you know that I will always say I grew my entire business on locals and three-way calls. Locals and three-way calls, repeat. I do the same thing with every single leader on my team. It's all about duplication, and it's all about the stories. What do we do at locals? We share the stories. What do we do on a three-way call? You hear a story. So always keep that in mind. It's all about the stories. So I'm gonna go into the who, the how, and the why of three-way calls. If you do not use them, listen anyway. You might learn something. And if you would like to use them or have tried to use them and it hasn't gone over so well, maybe you'll learn something to make them better, because I promise you it is gold in this business. Why? I'm gonna start with the why. The why is not only for third-party validation. People always say third-party validation, people want to hear from someone other than you. It does work magic for them to hear someone else's story. Maybe it's a story that relates to them better than yours does. Maybe they've been watching your journey for a long time on social media, so they kind of know what Thrive has done for you, and they don't really need that, but they're curious enough to ask. But the third-party validation of hearing someone else's story, Paul will be the first one to tell you. They already have an opinion of you, but whoever you put them on the phone with, they don't know them, they can't see them, so they don't have an opinion, so they're just taking in the information from someone else. That is huge, but here is why I do three-way calls. You guys, if you meet me, Josh and I, when we go out, like whether it's during the week or out to dinner or whatever, we almost always, when it's just me and him, we sit at the bar at the restaurant. Why? Because we meet people. We're talking to them. We naturally just start conversations with the people around us. That's why we go out and do things in Granbury, Texas, is because we always meet someone cool, but we also meet someone who needs Thrive. So every time someone talks to me, I guarantee you I will get them thriving. Whether it's that first week or a month from now or a year from now, I can sell ice to an Eskimo.
How many of you guys want this confidence?
Yeah.
How many of y'all want this confidence? And another question, if I may, real fast. How many of you guys are actually intimidated by the three-way call, three-way chat, that whole thing? Are you guys intimidated by that? Okay, well, I'm gonna raise my hand. Nobody else? Am I the only one? Like, come on, y'all. I was so intimidated by the three-way call at first, three-way chats. Like, how do you do it? When do you do it? What's the right way? So
that's what we're gonna cover.
Awesome.
Yes, so you don't have to be. My point of all that is, I can sell someone Thrive. I believe in it. I truly believe everybody needs it. And you will feel that when you talk to me for 30 seconds. Whether I just met you, I've known you my whole life. It will happen. But it's not about me, and it's not about that. It's about whoever I share Thrive with. I don't know what their story is gonna be. I don't know if they just need the product. I don't know if they need it emotionally, if they need it physically, if they're gonna absolutely be blown away and be the next 200K on my team. So the three-way call, to me, more importantly, it's about a duplicatable process. It doesn't matter whether someone's confident or not, whether they are shy, whether they're an introvert, whether they have a day 1 Thrive experience or a day 30 Thrive experience. When you put them on a three-way call before they ever start on the product, you've already shown them the way to success. Why do I have a ton of amazing leaders on my team? Because that's exactly what I did. I didn't do the talking. I got them excited, and then I put them on a three-way call for someone else to share. And then if and when they ever do become a promoter, all we do is say, You do exactly what I did with you. Do you remember when I put you on the phone with Sheila and she shared her story and answered your questions? Yeah, I remember that. That's all you have to do. Bring all your people to me and I will do the talking for you. Do you know where I hit a roadblock? Is when I let someone order and then they fall in love with Thrive and then they want to be a promoter and they want that auto bonus and I put them on a welcome call and Sheila or whoever, whatever leader that I have them on the call with, and they say, just connect them with Starlet. Let her do the talking for you on a three-way call. And they're like, what's a three-way call? Well, didn't Starlet put you on to hear someone's story before you ordered? No. Oops. I forgot to do that with you because you were so excited and you were so ready to order. I didn't need the three-way call. You already failed them. You already failed them as the leader because you did not. So it's part of the funnel. How many of you guys have heard about the funnel? As a promoter, have you heard about the funnel with growing a business here? One of them is three-way call or chat. And I'll talk about that real quick. I know the way of the world today, we just throw them in a three-way chat now because it's easy, right? We have pre-recorded stories. If someone asks me for a three-way chat, I'm like, sure. It doesn't matter if I'm driving. I can take 5 seconds. Don't tell anybody I said that. I can take 5 seconds and drop my pre-recorded story in a message. But you guys, you're losing the connection there. I'm going to be very quite honest. You're losing the connection. I don't remember or know any of those people I've been in three-way chats with because I didn't have a real conversation with them. But every single leader that I have right here with me on this front row, I can tell you they can probably tell you exactly where I was and who I put them on the phone with for their very first ever three-way call before they placed an order. They can tell you that. And they are now connected to the person I had them talk to because it builds relationships. It's someone else that they get to know that they can always go to if they have a question or a concern. Or if they can't get a hold of me, they always have someone else to go to. So those are the why of a three-way call. It's about duplication, third-party validation, and also taking the pressure off. It's taking the pressure off of you. If you don't know how to close the sale, or you don't know the exact same right things to say, or if you're very brand new, it doesn't matter if someone's an 18-year-old college student. They can go earn the auto bonus so fast because all they have to do is get their friends on the phone. So those are the why of a three-way call. And three-way chats do work. I'm not saying we don't do them. Just in my personal opinion, we're missing a piece of the relationship building that's very, very vital long-term here. So it's great for convenience, or if you just flat can't get that person on the phone, three-way chats are gold in that sense. Now, do either of you want to chime in on the why of a three-way call?
Well, I was just going to say that in the beginning, I was so busy that I had to connect everybody with Maria, and I'm pretty sure she talked to the first 35 people who ordered with me, and I didn't say a word. I was too busy, and I just sat there and I let her do all the talking. So I always say that she's the one who got me to 4K and earned my auto bonus, and she let me keep it, which was nice, but it was awesome. They do work.
I think back to whenever I first got started, and I was actually sitting around a table full of people in Troy and Angel's living room, or kitchen, actually. And we didn't have an opportunity for a three-way call, so to speak, because, I mean, there were 6 of us, I think, sitting around this room. But what I did get is the third-party validation from, I think it was Troy or Angel or somebody, picked up the phone and it called Paul, because Paul enrolled Troy, right, Angel. So they picked up the phone and all I had to hear was, this thing's going. Like, I'm telling you right now, this thing's going. And I didn't need to hear Paul's story. None of us really had an experience yet. The only thing that I knew was Angel's neighbor walked across the street after a couple of days asking her, like, hey, babe, you got any more of that stuff? Like, and so I'm like, dang, people must really like this. So there's so many different angles in the validation. It's not even just about the experience on the product, but for me, it was the validation that I was at the right place at the right time with the right company, with the right product, at the right timing, with the right people. So it's so much bigger than a three-way call. It's so much bigger than, hey, let me introduce you to somebody. If you do it, and that validation piece, you honor that, and you do it with every single person, people want to know what's ahead. People are sitting there probably praying for exactly what you have in your hands. But if you're freaking out over a dang three-way call, right, what are the odds that they're not going to do it themselves? The other thing I was going to say real fast, I'm so fired up about three-way calls, and just the validation. How many times have you guys wanted to do something, but you talk yourself out of it? Because in your mindset, right, we talked about mindset earlier, in your mind you're like, well, what if it's just like everything else? Like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it. It's an investment, but it is for my health. You're wasting all of this time circling around what you really want to do. But sometimes, in fact, all the time pretty much, you just need somebody that you don't know on the other end of the phone to say like, girl, you've got this, just do it. Like, I did it, I freaking love it, this is where I'm at. Boom, in your mind, you're automatically like, damn, I'm doing it. So you just need another person to convince you that what you're thinking is actually the right thing to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so the how of three-way calls. If you're not doing them and you're scared of them, and you say, I can't get anybody on the phone, I promise you, it's not that anybody that you're talking about, it's you. You are the roadblock. So listen up. People are not gonna be mad. In 8.5 years, I have never ever had one person be mad that I put an upline or a leader on the phone to explain to them what they thought I was gonna explain to them. So how you do a three-way call, and who it's for anybody that ever shows interest or asks you a question. If you have someone in Messenger or text and they're like, girl, tell me about this Thrive stuff, or okay, I'm ready, or oh, what's that thing you posted about, and oh, you're looking so good, where are you getting all this energy from? Whatever they say to you, whether it's a comment or they're in your Messenger, then you get them in Messenger and say, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to tell you about it. What's a good time for me to call you? It's so much easier to explain over the phone. That's all you have to say. And you know what? It is so much easier to explain over the phone. Do you want to sit there and type all that out or voice clip it out and you never know when they're going to listen to it? No, you don't. Take a few minutes to pick up the phone. So then you say, if they say, okay, great. Okay, when's the best time? I'm available at 4 or 6. And they're going to say, you know what? 4 is good. I'll be in the car on my way to pick up the kids. Perfect, I'll call you at 4. And then you message an upline and another one and another one and another one until you find someone that's available at 4 o'clock. And then you call that person at 4. You haven't told them, I want to get you on a phone with my upline leader because they're going to answer questions for me. Because they're going to run for the hills. They don't want you to sell them. They definitely don't want you to put them on the phone for somebody else to sell them something that you don't know. And I would run. Nobody wants that, right? You don't want to get stuck on the phone where they will not take no for an answer and they won't let you hang up until you give them a credit card number. I've been there. That's not what we do here. But that's what they're going to think. And they asked you about Thrive. So you're going to give them the information about Thrive. So when you call them at 4, I am so excited. You've been watching my journey. You see I've lost 20 pounds. Oh my gosh, my clothes fit so good. The kids are so happy that I'm a happy mama. And real quick, I'm going to grab my friend. She's the one that got me started. She's been doing it a whole lot longer than me. She's going to help me answer your questions. Hang on just a second. Okay, all right, sure. And then you say, hey, Sheila, this is my friend Susie. Where's Lindsay? I always say Susie. This is my friend Susie. Susie was asking me how I've lost 20 pounds. That's not part, y'all, that's not what I say because I did not lose 20 pounds, thank God. But this is just an example. She asked me how I lost all this weight. She's interested in Thrive. Can you please share your story and help me answer her questions? Sure. And then they take 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Day 1, day 3, day 5, or day 1, day 5, day 10, however they do it, what the 3 steps are, why it's going to work, and then after you make that introduction, this is super important, I almost forgot it, mute your dang phone. Mute your phone because you don't have to say anything else. We don't need they don't need to hear your background noise. You don't need to say anything else. Just let your leader do the talking for you. And then she hops off and then you finish up with your friend. Most importantly, don't talk them out of it after your leader gets off the phone. You don't have to re-say everything. You don't have to revalidate because they're gonna do that work for you. And here's where I learned It's by doing that. The more people I put Maria and Sheila on the phone with, the more I learned how to share my story and how to explain Thrive. And the verbiage I use today is the exact verbiage that I learned from Jason, Paul, Maria, and Sheila in the first 30 days of my business. I say the exact same thing now, but if I had not put them on the phone with my friends, I would not have learned it. It wouldn't roll off my tongue so easily now. So the how is just ask them when they can talk. And you guys, if you choose to do a chat, you do the same thing except for mute out. Pretend you're muting your phone. When you make an introduction in a messenger chat, mute out. Like, you don't have to pop in there every message. Just give your leader time to do the work, which only takes a few minutes, and then you can close it after. I do want to say this really quick. Oh, and the who is everyone. Every single person that asks you a question. I don't care if they're interested. I don't know if they already said, I want to order an $800 pack. You better dang sure put them in a three-way chat or a three-way phone call before they place an order. And if someone orders, like randomly, they order before you get a chance to do this, Sherry McConnell right here, front row, put me in two three-way chats this week. They ordered the night before. She was like, oh my gosh, this lady just ordered. I'm gonna throw you in a chat so you can explain to her how to take it and your story. Because she ordered before Sherry even realized. And then another was second one this week. So she followed up with it because it's that third-party validation. So these are the things that I heard Paul say today. You guys, he was not even talking about three-way calls, but it applies. He said, I can hear realness. You can hear realness. Anybody that you put on the phone with someone to hear their story, that's it. They can hear the emotion in our voice. They can hear the conviction. They can hear the confidence that we have about this product. They get all of their questions answered without you having to be the one to know everything, so you can start having success right out of the gates. And then again, he said at another point, let them hear your voice. And then the last thing that I noticed him saying today was take the time. Take the time to get on the phone. This would be my message if I'm preaching three-way calls over three-way chats. Take a little bit of extra time to actually have a 5 to 10 minute phone conversation with someone to really build that relationship rather than, I'll be the first to admit, I'm thankful lots of times when I only need 10 seconds to throw in my pre-recorded message. But again, I've lost that connection that I could have been immediately building with someone. So take the time, be available for your team. When they need a three-way call, make yourself available. It doesn't have to necessarily be at the exact time they asked for. Maybe throw out a second option that you can be free. And then I'll give you this leader tip. If you are the leader doing the call, this is what I like to close with after I'm done, whether they're ready to order or not, but usually they're pretty excited. I close with, keep me posted. I cannot wait to follow your journey, because that paints a long-term vision. It's not like Paul said, I can't wait to see what you think. I can't wait for you to try it. I can't wait to follow your journey, because it's going to be a journey and it's going to be a good one. So you guys give your input on the who and the how.
I loved everything that you just said. I'm looking over here at my big sister, Tara, right? She told me absolutely no when I picked up the phone and asked her to please do this business with me. I didn't want to do it by myself. Charlotte and I didn't want to do it alone. You guys want to know a little secret that's been working so well for us in three-way calls? Raise your hand. You want to know a little secret? This works like a charm, okay? Tara will set her calls with new people. How many were at the local last night? Okay, did you guys hear that girl's story? Her name's Lucy, and she got up there and was sharing her story. She's a mom. She was Tara's AT&T person. She came and set up Tara with good internet. We're talking about phones. She got her on a sample. She loved it, but Tara told me about it immediately, right? She doesn't need me to help her build her business. She is a 200K, an LV Millionaire Award recipient. She's got it. But Lucy needs me because of everything that she just said. So it's not about, I'm a 200K, I don't need anybody, okay? I still plug people into Angel. right? So it's not about like, so if you're a leader and you don't think you need to do the three-way calls yourself or the messages, like just kind of put your ego in your pocket a little bit because it's not about you, okay? But the secret sauce, real fast. She sets the call with her customer, her sampler, whatever. She tells me when she's gonna be on the phone with this person, okay? I put it in my calendar. If I don't remember, because life gets busy, my phone might pop up, you know, and say, hey, you've got this three-way call. She doesn't call me, I beep in. And sometimes I'll be honest, I forget. And she'll be like, hey, hold on, my sister's calling me, hold on real fast. And then she'll call me like, hello, right? So we're on this call and she's like, okay, this is Lucy, she was at my house, right? Like she's on the sample, she is loving her experience. I'm just gonna let her know we were on the phone, let's chat real fast. So I get on the phone and she's like, okay, Lucy, I'm so sorry that was my sister calling, but I got her on the phone because you've gotta hear this. Like, how awesome does that feel? Yellow, sounds awesome. So we're on the phone and we're doing this three-way call and it's not icky, it doesn't feel weird, but I already know where Lucy's at, right? So not only is she in her sample, but I already know this girl's story is crazy, and I know Susan's on our rear ends in this background message trying to get these people to speak on a local, right, at the local. So all of these things work out, right? So I'm on the phone with her, and she's telling me her story, and I said, Lucy, I need you to do me a huge favor. I said, it's crazy we're on the phone right now, like I'm so glad I buzzed in because we're talking about this event that's coming up, but what are you doing Friday night? And she was like, well, I don't know, probably just, you know, I'm gonna be at home, I don't know, I've talked to I said, well, I need you, can you please do me a huge favor? I need what you just said, what came out of that mouth. I need you to be at Los Vaqueros, I'll get your dinner, I'd love to meet you, you're gonna hear a lot of stories. How crazy can all of that come from a three-way call? Now, I'm huge on manifestations too. This girl, she doesn't know it yet, but I know it. She's got a story that she's gonna share. She's gonna flip to promoter. She's gonna hit her VIPs. She'll be up here speaking one day because we believe that she can do it. But again, all of that came from three-way call. So there's so many different ways to do it. That's the way Tara and I do it, and it works every single time.
I'm gonna say real quick, just because that reminded me, how many of you, raise your hand if one of your favorite things about Thrive Life is the community of people? Yeah. So a lot of you out here, I know from events like this. A lot of you out here, I know because I've seen you speak at a local, at smaller ones where we got to meet one-on-one. That starts when they hear your voice on a call. The sense of community and that they care. You care enough to get someone else to help get their questions answered, to get someone else to share a story that might relate to them better than yours. You care, and you've already shown them that this is about way, way, way more than just you when you put them on that original three-way call.
All right, let's jump right into customer retention. So we're gonna keep going. So you've done the three-way call, they've ordered, now you gotta keep them. How many of you get so frustrated when somebody is ordering or they started their experience and then they don't do their auto ship the next month? It's very frustrating, right? So we're gonna just share some tips with you real quick on how to keep your customer retention or your promoter retention. I'm gonna just share a few things that I do and I want you guys to do it too, then we're gonna jump into 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you cool with that? Okay, so one of the first things that I do as soon as somebody orders, I take a big giant index card and I write their name, I write when they ordered, what their goals are. They may have just told me that it's weight loss, it's I need better sleep, I need more energy, whatever those things are. I write them down because I've got to remember those and I'm not going to remember them. I put down their username and password because all the time they have me go in and fix their stuff, and I write down their address. Immediately they get a thank you card in the mail from me that says, I am so excited that you are starting your Thrive experience. I cannot wait to watch your journey. We are going to have a blast. And I write blast really big. Guess what's in their thank you card? A blast. So they're gonna get how many of y'all love to get a thank you card in the mail? Do you get them? No, you get bills and junk mail, right? Who wants all that? But if they get a thank you card from me and they open it up and something falls out, how exciting. I have a calendar. I learned this from Jamie Lindbergh. It is a calendar, and I write down their day 1, their day 3, their day 5, their day 10, all the things that the days I need to be checking in with them. Day 1, okay, did you love the simplicity? I don't ask them how they're feeling because I was not a day oneer. How many of you were day oneers? Braggers. I was not a day oneer, so I'm not gonna say, what did you think? How are you feeling? I don't even do that on day 2, day 3, or day 4. Day 2, I'm gonna say, hey, how did you mix your lifestyle mix today? Day 3, where did you put your DFT? Show me a picture. I am talking to them constantly. Day 5, I'm gonna ask them something else. Day 7, I'm gonna ask them something else. Day 10, oh my gosh, tell me your 2 favorite things about your Thrive experience. Y'all, I did that yesterday. I probably got 15 responses back. Oh, I love how easy it is. I love how much energy I have. Oh, my back's not hurting today. You know, all the different things. I'm talking to them constantly. I'm not waiting 30 days to ask them how they like their Thrive. Your auto ship comes up tomorrow. I do not do that. Now, there is going to be a chance that even if you do all of that, they still don't reorder. It's okay. You just had 7 other people order because you've been doing all those 3-way calls, right? 3-way calls and 3-way chats. People do drop off. Sometimes, guys, it's money. You can't compete against that. And if things have to go, sometimes their Thrive and their pull guy go, or their hair person. That's what Amber tells me. Those are the things that go first. So I've been checking in with them the whole time. But hey, guess what? It is time for their auto ship. I send them a message. Guess what? It's already time to restock your order. Here's what you have coming. I am so excited that you're a loyal customer. I've thrown some credits onto your account. They tell me what they want to change. All goes well. This is how I'm keeping my customers. Guess what they get in the mail after their order goes in? They get another thank you card from me. I'm starting to run out of things to say to some customers. I feel like I'm being very repetitive, but they always get something. Let's say they are a regular DFT person. In their thank you card, thank you so much for continuing your journey. Thank you for supporting my small business and your health. I hope you enjoy this new DFT. I go back and I write on that postcard what I have sent them each time. Y'all, some people have ordered with me so much they are on their second postcard, front, back, and second postcard. I am in touch with them all the time. I'm commenting on their stuff on Facebook like we're big friends, big friends. I'm talking about their kids. I'm talking about their outfit they're wearing. Y'all, the reason you have customer retention is because of the relationship that you're building with them. They don't want to quit on their friend. They might, but they don't want to because they have a relationship with you. If they are just another order to you, they are probably not going to be another order for you. Okay, does that help? Take it away.
Okay, well, I made notes. So, customer retention starts with intention. Just write it down. It's a little fun rhyme. Okay? Customer retention starts with intention. I can't tell you how many times I have been so embarrassed as a leader that one of my customers quit ordering and then I don't realize it until the next month where things have happened, things happen in life. And I don't remember who it was or when, but how many times in this business have you heard, if it's meant to be, it's up to me? You hear it all the time. So I had to pull my big girl pants on and pull them up, and I had to embrace the suck for a bit and realize dang, I've let my customers go. Not one time had I earned Auto Elite in this business, and I'd been in the business for 6 years probably. And I'm looking at Charlotte why are we not earning Auto Elite? There is no reason why we can't earn this bonus and we can't get at least 12 customers on an auto ship. So my mindset went from, I'm gonna at least get my product for free because I really need to focus on my team and help my team grow. Once I shifted my mindset to, if you're on an airplane, you've got to put the oxygen mask on first. They tell you that, right? If something happens, you lose pressure in the cabin, put your oxygen mask on first before you help everybody else. I had let my business go from where it was, dwindle personally, right? My PPA was garbage. I'm being so transparent with you guys because I know you can relate. My PPA was garbage. I wasn't feeling really good about my leadership. You know, I didn't have a whole lot of customers coming in, but I was in my team page every day. I was showing up every day. So customer retention starts with intentions. What are you intending to do? I guarantee you there's a lot of people that intended to get up and be here today and they're not. But you guys are. And the only difference between you guys and the ones that intended to be here is the action that you put after the intention. You got up, you got dressed, you told your friends, I'm gonna be there, you know, set your commitments. So if we know that customer retention starts with intention, okay, a mental state requires action. Your intention is a mental state. If you're intending to do something, it's in your mind, right? But here's an example. You may intend to plant some strawberry seeds, okay? But if you're not actually out there growing them by taking action and putting some water on them, making sure they've got some sunlight, what's gonna happen to the dang seeds?
Shrivel up and die.
They're gonna shrivel up and die. I heard Tara say that. They're not gonna grow. You're gonna get absolutely nothing out of them. So if you're putting in a bunch of free accounts and nothing's happening, okay, the intention was to get them a free account, but if you're not out there watering them and giving them a little tender love and care, you're not going to grow any strawberries. And if you do and they order one time, and you're not continuously doing the things Susan said, you might have a strawberry and you pick it off the vine, it's delicious. But if you're not out there looking at it, and you don't know when the perfect time and it's ripe, when their auto ship's coming up, right? When maybe they have a little bruise on the side. If there's a bruise on the side of that strawberry, that is a sign, okay? If you're not taking care of what you're growing, it will die. So, another thing, how many of you guys have been like, well, why are my customers, like, this girl's got so many customers, why are my customers not continuously ordering all of those things? Well, and it goes back to water and sunlight, right? So this is almost equivalent to if you plant strawberry seeds and you're expecting a tomato to grow out of the soil. How silly is that? Like if you plant strawberry seeds, are you expecting to go outside and see a bright red tomato? No, right? So if you're not paying attention and you're not going out there and you haven't set your intention on your customers and you're not giving them sunlight, right? You don't know what they want, why they want it. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like, would you guys agree? If you don't know why your customers ordered in the first place, they put $160 minimum. They've invested in themselves. And a lot of them had a little resistance in ordering maybe because they were fearful or scared. We talked about that earlier. So, really fast, we've set intention, we've planted the action, right? So we've set the intention to get customers, we've planted the seed, we know what they want, why they want it. I've planted my strawberries. I'm gonna get out there, I'm gonna make some strawberries happen. I'm watering them, I'm giving them sunlight. This is how I keep the strawberries growing. Okay, so most of you have done all the work. You've got the berries going, you've got the tomatoes going, you've got your gardens, whatever that looks like. How do you keep it going? The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1's huge. Look at what I did. Look at this. How fancy. I think there's like 22 weeks left or 21 weeks left in the year. Can y'all believe that? 20-something weeks left in this year. I've set my intention, but I put it into action. So I went on Amazon and I bought a little 1/2-inch binder. And I went online and I printed out, inside of this is every single week through the rest of the year. All of my customers that are ordering now are still in this, and I have pre-planned it. So I know when I open up next week, I already have all of the people I'm following up with because who ordered last month, right? And I've got the people I'm following up with and reaching out to based on the people that started sampling last month. So if we're talking gardens, right? If you don't know what you've planted, you don't know what you're gonna grow. So you have to know to grow in this business. My sister said that one day on a conference call and it stuck with me. So you've gotta know to grow. So if you haven't put this in place, we're gonna talk about that in a second, do it. The other thing is this calendar. Okay, so if we're talking, how do you keep these things growing? How much water do they have? Dead, drowned, or dehydrated? Okay, follow me here. So sometimes you can do a little too much with customers and scare them away.
Yeah.
How many of you guys have watered a plant too much and they just, me too. Me too. I can't keep plants alive, but I can keep customers going now because I know what they want. So you've got to listen. You've got to listen to what they're saying, listen to what they're loving, what they're not loving. Are they detoxing? These are all things that, really help you grow a really good strawberry patch. So the calendar definitely works. Make an ask of yourself. This, not A-S-K. Make an ask. Make an ask of yourself. The more questions that you ask someone, the more you're gonna know. Okay, so that's like the strawberries and the tomatoes. If they're obviously gonna show you something. If they're not growing, you're doing something wrong. So you gotta ask your customers questions. What I love to do is, if you guys were at the local last night and you scanned that QR code, did you guys see that? Okay, they scan the QR code and they fill out a little form. When my customers enroll, I send them a quick little survey or a little form, and I ask them questions. My questions are name, right? Like, who are you? Why did you order the product? These are people that maybe have ordered. If they haven't ordered the product, they get the other survey that says non-ordering customers. And I collect information from them. What do they want? Why do they want it, right? Were they a little resistant and scared to order for the first time, and why did they feel that way? So the more information you can collect, it's gonna help you so much more overcome the objections you're gonna hear in the next panel, okay? I also ask for their birthday, because when you run out of things to send them, because I do the thank you cards too, there's nothing better than getting a thank you card a couple days before their actual birthday in the mail. It's like, happy birthday. Maybe you send them some flowers. Maybe, you know their anniversary. What are their hobbies? So I ask my brand new people a little bit about themselves so I can better serve them. And then I'll end with this really fast. How many of you guys have gone back to a restaurant? Maybe the food wasn't really too good, but you've gone back to the restaurant because the service was amazing. The atmosphere was awesome. It was a good location. I want people to come back to me and they want to order from me because I make them feel special. I make them feel like they're not just another number. Does that make sense? So we really are in the business of serving others. And it's just how well you are at doing that piece. Let's see, last thing, and I'll pass it, I promise, is testimonies is so huge. I think statistics, you guys get this. If we pretend that we're putting all of our customers that order for the first time, pretend that you have loaded them onto this train, the Lavelle train, and it's going, right? Right now they're just a customer. At some point in the first week, it could be day 1 through 7 days, but as soon as you can, you want to do a little pit stop at validation station. And you might just want to kick them out there for a second and wait for them to come back. But you're on the train, validation station. The sooner you can introduce somebody to someone else's experience and validate that what they've just ordered is amazing. We talked about the 3-way call. Retention comes from happy customers and 5-star reviews that they see, that they're aware of, right? How many of you guys have sent ordering customers stories of people on the fan page that relate to what they've answered you and why they wanted to start in the first place? Does that make sense? Right? So if Charlotte tells me, she wants more energy to go for her black belt in karate, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find a story from somebody on the fan page within the first week of my customer ordering. They're gonna get she's already ordered, right? So customer retention is you're continuing to take care of that customer. You're continuing to show them through other people's experiences that, hey, you just did the right thing. You just ordered the product that is actually going to solve the issue that you came to me for. That has been huge. 88% of consumers trust a testimony over a personal recommendation. 88% of people are going to trust a testimony over a personal recommendation. If Starla tells me in a three-way call and I'm brand new that, you know, or if I'm her person and she says, you're going to love it, right? You're going to love it, you're going to like it, you're going to share it. But then she puts me on a three-way call with somebody else and I hear it from someone else and they're validating, they're taking the product, they're sharing their testimony. Why in the world would someone stop their order if they know what's coming? If they know that their problem they had initially was money? We're going to talk about objections in the next panel. If their problem was money, and you already know this, you're overcoming that objection by putting them in a call in the first week to 2 weeks with somebody that felt the same way. When that comes up in the next 3 weeks and we're following up on auto ships, we know how they felt. This person felt the same way. What have you learned? How can I help you thrive for free? Does that make sense? Talked for so long. Last thing, 34%, your retention will increase by 34% when your customer is exposed to testimonies. So if you're not doing that, maybe that's something that you do, right? Maybe you just start adding your customers to other people's experiences. You're going to increase your retention by at least 34%, which is almost half. So I'm done. Y'all can, thank you for listening.
I'm up. Are we good on time? Okay. First of all, raise your hand if you have learned something from this panel already. Okay, me too, and I'm going to tell y'all what I learned. I'm not near organized enough because these girls got it going on. I need like a notebook. I have all my pages printed and I write all my stuff, but who knows where on my desk like 3 weeks ago papers were because I rewrite them. So let me tell y'all a story. I'll be quick, but this is my story. So when Lavelle first launched Auto Elite, pretty sure it was like 5 years ago. Auto Elite is when you are the rank of 40K or higher and you have 12 recurring auto ship orders every month. It can't be like a first time customer order. It has to be a recurring auto ship process on the auto ship date. Then you get a $1,600 a month auto bonus instead of the regular $800. Everybody, like, who loves their $800 a month auto bonus or the idea of that, right? $800 is pretty stinking awesome. Well, then they like upped the game and gave us the opportunity to get $1,600 a month for our auto bonus. And boy, I mean, I was in like Flynn. I'm all over this. I got it. Number one thing, I am the leader of my pack. Like, if I'm not doing it, how can I expect them to do it? I want to show the way always, not just to my team, but anyone in Lavelle. Anyone that, you know, has faith in this company and this opportunity, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So like a few months in, after they had launched it, I hit Auto Elite. Like, I was determined. I was doing it. And I got my shout out for that. And I don't know why I was good with it after that. Like, I got my shout out. I had Auto Elite. Yep, I did that. Checked it off. Like, if Lavelle offers that I'm gonna hit it. Y'all, I didn't hit it again. It's freaking hard. It is hard to have 12 recurring auto ships every single month. I was thriving for free. Josh is thriving for free. Like, I was basically depriving myself of an additional $800 every single month because I got my shout out and I was good for like 5 years. Whenever they launched it 4 months ago. So in January of this year, I made a decision. I'm not gonna say I gotta get busy because I've never stopped working. I'm always there, but maybe just the intention of my personal business and what I am doing other than just growing a team. I got intentional about 54321, which we're about to go into in a little bit more detail, but I started printing these papers and writing things down and praying over the specific people. I just learned more from Betty Shelton on that this last week. Like, praying for the types of person that I'm looking for, praying for the conversations that I'm gonna have today, visualizing who I'm attracting into my life, into my business, and into my conversations. I started in January saying I was growing my personal business. And 4 months ago, I hit Auto Elite, and then it's, if you do it 3 months in a row, then you get this cool little lapel leather bag, and I didn't have the bag because I only hit it once. Now I've hit it 4 months in a row now. Because yeah, it's hard, but it's worth it. I just gave myself an $800 a month raise, and I got the bag coming, yay. But more importantly, like, why not? Why was I not putting in that extra effort of doing all these extra things? So I went from probably having 4 auto ship customers every month to having anywhere from 12 to 15 right now. My goal now is to have like 40 so that I don't have to stress about my 12 every month. But it's all about what they just talked about, just giving that little bit of extra and caring more about them than just the order. It's caring about them and their needs, and also you guys just referring people, helping them refer people to Thrive for Free. Your customers are not gonna fall off if they are thriving for free. And the more you let them know you are there to help them thrive for free, 1 customer thriving for free for me means 3 customers that are going through on an auto ship instead of just 1. Woo! Like, that's good for them, it's good for me, it's good for you. So, that was just my 2 cents about customer retention. When you put intention to it, it really, really pays off in more ways than one. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Queen.
Yeah, and I want to talk real quick. How many of you are Auto Bonus Elite? Stand up. Y'all, that is a big deal. It is a big deal. I think you deserve a round of applause because it is awesome. All right, so I'm going to tell y'all a quick little story. 8.5, almost 9 years ago when I started this business, I was a full-time mama. I was a full-time single mama, let's throw that in. I had 2 beautiful young children who were super busy. I was super busy. I was working 40 to 50 hours a week. I had to figure out a way to make this business work so I could have options for my family. And so I created myself this little checklist, and I did this little checklist every day. This is the very first binder from my very first, probably 2 or 3 years of printing off my own little checklist every single Monday and working that Monday. Now there are 8 of these. This is binder 1. This is binder 8. You can go into my office and you will see that every single Monday I start with the checklist. I'm a millionaire in this company at 200K. I still start with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 every single week. Who else does that? I'm so proud of y'all. It is not easy to keep yourself accountable. It is not easy to keep that sheet going, but I promise you it works. So I know Kimmy just handed all of y'all a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sheet. We're gonna go through it really fast. And I just want you to understand the importance of working that every single day. I couldn't sit in that chair anymore, y'all. I'm like, I had to get up. All right, so I've done that checklist every week. It's now called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's not what mine was called. But several months ago, Lindsay was doing something different with her team. And I wanted to know what she was doing. And she was doing a little boot camp. Many of y'all have heard about the boot camp, and we can go into it. But a couple of things I learned about my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in that boot camp completely changed my business. 1, you have to do 5 reach outs a day. It is not an option. You have to be talking to people. If you work out 1 day a month for 5 hours, is it as effective as doing 20 minutes a day for 5 days a week? No, you have to reach out to people, five people a day. My goal, 16 to 20 people a day. Now, a reach out is not you sending them a message about Thrive. It is not you commenting on something on their post on Facebook. It is not you sending a birthday message. It's you commenting on their stuff on Facebook. It's you sending them a message about Thrive. It's you sending a birthday message and they reply back. You do not get to write their name down until they reply back to you. This is the conversation. That is what counts as a reach out. Just going and saying, hey, happy birthday, does not count. Tell me that is not going to work for your business. Hey, happy birthday. What are you doing today to celebrate? They come back. Oh, I'm going out to eat. Fabulous. That counts as 1. I have to have myself 16 to 20 of those a day. So how many times do you think I'm commenting and sending a message and reaching out to people? Probably 40, possibly 50. I am doing a lot of that per day. This is what my sheet looks like at the end of the week. That's the front. This is the back. This is how many people I am talking to a day. That's why we have Auto Bonus Elite, right? So you gotta do all that. So that's reach outs. Okay, that was pretty hefty. That scares the crap out of a lot of people when they see my sheet, but I'm like, it's working for me, okay? I know the first time I showed it to Amber and Christy, they almost fainted. They were like, what? I was like, the point of the names is not on there. It's the point that those are the people who are talking back to me. So I said, write down the people who are talking back to you. Those are your newest thrivers eventually, right? Number 4 on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sheet is your follow-up. Sending a thank you card, telling them thank you for ordering. Oh my gosh, girl, I know we talked last week about you thriving with me. What's it gonna take for you to thrive with me today? Or it's any other kind of follow-up. You have to do 4 of those a day. Most of the time my follow-ups are bigger than my reach-outs, for sure. Okay, so follow up. I don't know how many times we've heard this. The fortune is the follow-up. The millionaires come in the follow-ups. You've got to follow up with people. If you send them a Thrive sample and you don't ever follow up with them and you think they're going to order, no, they might. That's great. Those people are a blessing, right? 3 is your social media. Don't freak out about this. You got to post. You got to put stuff in your stories. You've got to do it across different social media avenues. Whatever you put in Instagram, feed it over to Facebook. Whatever you put in Facebook, go put on TikTok or go put on your Reels or something. 3 social media presence per day. Social media is not going to make you a millionaire in this company. It is your billboard. It is your free advertisement. Thankfully, we don't have to pay for that, right? You've got to be present. If you post 1 time a week as opposed to 7 times a week, which one works better? The 7 times a week, right? If you only opened up the store 1 day a week, would you sell a whole bunch of stuff? No. So you have to be present on social media every day, but it is not where your fortune is going to come from. It's just your free advertisement. I have to say that over and over and over again. 2, adding 2 people to your network every day. That is not necessarily free accounts, but those do count. It's going into Facebook and finding the people who are your friend suggestions. It is going into Facebook and finding people in your groups and adding them to your network. You do not get to count them until they accept your friend request. Just because you went and added 27 people, they don't count. The 5 that come back and become your friends, they count. That's where those 2 come from. Y'all, there will come a day when you run out of people to talk to unless you're adding 2 people to your network every single day. Everybody with me so far? Am I going too fast? 1, connecting with your leader. You all get to do that today. You connected with a leader today. How fun is that? And it's not just my upline. I do not get to count Maria every day, but if I call Starla or if I call Nikki and I'm talking to them about something that is gonna improve my business, I get to count them. I try to have 5 a day. Whether they be my downline, my upline, my sidelines, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to connect with somebody every day, which fills my heart because then I get to learn from everybody. That is your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I should have done that like Janet Jackson. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't remember how she did it. Anyway, okay, any questions on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and who does not think that that is important? It is one of the most important things you do. That is why it is in your back office. It's under resources, I believe, right? Yes. Okay, y'all jump up and join me and tell me anything you want to say about it. Because I'm tired of sitting. I can't sit anymore.
Okay, so how many of you guys have Instagram or Facebook? Hopefully everybody. Okay, everybody. So if you're friends with your customers on Instagram and your promoters on Instagram or Facebook, if you're running out of people to talk to and you're adding those 2 new names on your leads list, right, and you want them to be solid names on your leads list, what I've started doing is when I'm talking to my personal customers and I'm getting their favorite thing about Thrive, remember that online form that I had sent over? You don't want to be that fancy. You can ask these questions in a text message, so it doesn't have to, you don't have to do a form, right? But when you get and you collect that information on what they wanted, why they wanted it, and what they're experiencing, right? So if you're following up and you're doing your follow-ups, like Susan said, the moment they come back and tell you, like, I feel amazing, or, you know, one lady came back and said, is this real? Is this, like, I just started, that's Tara's person, is this real? Is this legal? And, you know, am I gonna pop on a drug test? Like, this can't be real, right? When they come back and they say that in a text, I screenshot that with their permission, and I upload it in my story, and I tag them in it, and I tag another person in it, and another person in it, and another person in it, upload it to my story. I text them and tell them, hey, I just uploaded that, go approve it on your story. So then, their post between us, sometimes customers aren't comfortable sharing their story. They don't know how, they overcomplicate it. They're like, well, I don't want, but if it's coming from you and you do the work and then you upload them in your story and tell them, hey, go approve that in your story, then all the people that are coming back in their stories, because I'm gonna tell them, be prepared, you might get some questions from people, what is this, how do I start, whatever. Those are all new names that are on my leads list. Does that mean, I don't know any of these people, but you're working through other people's stories and you're teaching them just to hit the approve button, add to story. Like, there's been so many of you already probably that have been tagged in Instagram or Facebook that are here. All you have to do is boop, add to story, right? So if you're doing that and you're asking your customers, your promoters, those questions, and you're uploading it, the less work they have to do, right? The more that's gonna come from it sometimes, especially they're super busy, right? So that has really helped me find new people to talk to in the leads part of it.
Two things really. One thing having to do with this panel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you guys work a full-time job outside of Lavelle, I encourage you to pre-plan your week on Sunday. Go ahead and write out who all your reach outs and follow-ups are gonna be for the week. And then that way it takes you 5 minutes to send those simple messages. You can even pre-plan your posts. There are all kinds of ways you can figure out how to do that to where you pre-plan your posts for the week to make your week a little less chaotic. Because I know a lot of you are sitting out there going, oh Lord, I cannot do all that. She does this full time. You know, and she's very organized. Lord, I can't do all that, and I do this full time. The last thing I want to say that has absolutely nothing to do with this panel, but it does about this group of people in this room and about this company. I want you all to know, and if you've been around for a while, you've heard this said before, it became very, very evident way back in the beginning, the first few years that Lavelle was here, that this company, our CEOs, the company, the products, all of it, and everyone in this room, everyone associated with it, we are blessed and highly favored. If you have not heard that before, mark it down, write it down, or tell yourself, add it to your IAMs every single morning. You're associated with this company, and we have faith in each other and our products, our CEOs. They are always in the grind for us. That's where the explosive growth happened. I mean, truly, truly blessed and highly favored. And I want you to walk away today having that to give you confidence and never, ever, ever doubting if you're in the right place.